Good morning, everyone. So it's Thursday today, the 8th of December, and can you believe how close these guys are to the no-go zone? I sometimes wonder why they're down so close, because imagine if they were sailing along and this was the White Cliffs of Dover or the edge of South Georgia Island or something, Big Lee Shore, big ocean, all that sort of stuff, and they're playing with fire. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. They've missed it. Kirsten had her big scare yesterday and has bounced north, just missing the zone, and Goog's going to go through some northerlies shortly. But anyway, again, just to explain the zone, when I talk about MRCC's sort of being involved with, requesting that we keep the fleet up north, it's all about support. If a boat gets into trouble, we don't want to go too far south. And Adam Clement sent me an email just with an interesting photo overnight, and I'll just show it to you. I don't know whether you can see all these little white dots and everything here, but this is actually shipping traffic in various parts of the world, and you can see here that's sort of like the southern limit, level with South Africa there, Cape of Good Hope, and you can see a few little dots here, and that's pretty much the southern limit, because obviously there are still ships transiting the Southern Ocean here, all the way across to Cape Horn even, and as a rule of thumb you can usually see one every couple of days come past. But you'll see there's no reason for them to go the Great Circle route, because the weather is really bad, and the shipping, when it goes, ships usually have their own private weather routing. Obviously the captain can do it, and they have information from the internet. They've got satellite coverage of internet and can look at windy and all that sort of stuff and work out their own thing. But when ships are travelling in most parts of the world, they have a company weather router if they believe it can save time and fuel. So they have no reason to dip south, and if we did a Great Circle route down this way all the way from Cape Town to Hobart, forgetting about the issues of ice and really extreme weather down here, if a boat gets into trouble, then it's a long way for these ships to go. And I remember when I did my BOC challenge, there was a guy in my class who went down to 60 degrees south, and I was up here at 50 something, and I had one of the most rugged, strongest 50 footers in my class, and there was no doubt if that guy had got into trouble, the organisers would have tasked me to go down and try and assist, and I wasn't looking forward to it at all. I was really annoyed that he went so far south. So it's just common sense to keep the fleet up high. Obviously our own entrants within the GGR would be tasked to go and assist another entrant and so on, but the rescue coordination centres and the other shipping, they're sort of happy to help. It's a tradition of the sea, but to divert way south is dangerous for them as well. So that's part of the big reason why we end up with these no-go zones. Okay, so the position's just hit over them now. Before I get into it, you see all these little boxes come through here. I'm going to give an unadulterated plug to our supporters. Citran is our Citran here is our designated charity, Motor Neurodesign and so on. This little bit here, if you want to get on the app, Yellow Brick app, if you're watching it on a PC, that's how you do it. You can actually buy from them at the end of the race a print of all of these tracks, a coloured print of the whole GGR map around the world. It costs you £9. Globe Yacht Club, the only way you can join that as a full member is to enter one of the 3 Globe Yacht races, around the world yacht races we have. Boat Shed, they're putting up the £5,000 prize money for the GGR. It was £5,000 in '68, and it's £5,000 in 22 as well, so that's good on them. Hydrovane, they are a supporter, but they give me no directions, and I'm maintain my editorial integrity by talking about Aries wind vanes and all the rest of it. They don't direct me. Le Sable d'Olonne, our number one supporter, beautiful host port. The community love the GGR, and we're really lucky to be here, so that's cool. McIntyre Adventure, that's us, and there's some interesting news coming out next week about McIntyre Adventure, so stay tuned for that. A bit of fun. And Plastimo, huge supporter. They've always supported me personally and our events and other entrants. We've got most have got Plastimo life rafts, good deal prices and stuff. And back to Citran again. So that's what that box is about. So now we'll start over here with Guy. He's been hit with a southeasterly now, so I'll just build this up so you can see it a bit clearer. Hit with a southeasterly, and this is the classic where we say you've really got to approach Cape Town from the south, from the southwest coming northeast. So if you do get these southeasterlies, you can run it on the beam all the way across. So Guy's been hit with that, and he's now running northeast and if he goes up that way, he's not quite going to make it, but hopefully the weather will change, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. So we'll get rid of this so we can do the three guys at the back here. Elliot got this southerly, so as we predicted yesterday, we'll head to the east, and he's making 4.2 knots, a nice sailing breeze there. And Ian now making 5.3 knots as well. So their daily run for yesterday, what do we got here? Bit of 99 miles for Ian. So that wasn't too bad. 120 for Elliot. He'll be happy with that. It was a fascinating phone conversation with Elliot yesterday. If you haven't listened to his SoundCloud, I've got to tell you, go and have a listen. Talk about a young Matessia. He's really just hanging loose. It's a bit hard to describe, but his call yesterday was really stunning. If you just listen to what he's saying and how he's absorbing the whole GGR experience, it's really, I was very impressed. He's quite a guy. Anyway, so they're all moving, so that's good. And let's just animate this now, and we'll see what's happening as it goes through. I think Guy's Southeast is going to stay for a while. Elliot's going to see his southerly lighten off and come further onto the nose, so it's not good for him. He's on top of the high. This is by late tonight, midnight tonight. It's moving really fast. You can see that the centre of the high coming through. Guy's getting a break. If you look over at Guy here, the wind's going to go to the south, so he'll be able to slowly bend down on the course. So by midnight tonight, that's good for him. You'll be able to come across as turning into a southerly, so that's good. And Ian's going to go a little bit light, but it's behind him. And then Elliot will be able to tack across and come over on port tack. And even though it's light, it's starting to fill in again, so it's turning into a northeasterly, and it'll swing to the north as it goes through. And Ian's going to park for a while the centre goes over the top of him. Guy's got a beautiful southerly, so he may be okay there coming through. This is tomorrow morning. And let's just roll it through. Yeah, Guy's southerly looks okay for a while. And these guys, Elliot and Ian, are going to rocket along in northerly. They'll like that. It's getting quite strong, but not extreme. Turning into a northwesterly, preceding the southwesterly change. And Guy's back to a southeasterly again, so that's going to frustrate him, and quite strong. This is now midday on the 10th, so we've got a couple of days ahead here. And Guy and Elliot should be happy with all of that. They'll make some good ground there. And then Guy's going to have... Ian and Elliot are going to make some good ground. But Guy is going to be frustrated. This is through to the 10th, midnight on the 10th. Anyway, nothing extreme, so they'll be happy with all that. And Suhaili is still quite a way back there. But that's the 4th of December. So they're keeping up with Suhaili by the look of it. You'll see Suhaili jump ahead, and she's the backbencher for the gate in Hobart. So that's not looking too bad. I really want those guys to get through the gate. Anyway, coming up here, I'll see if we can get them all on in the next size up. Yes, we got them all on the same page, so that's good. So again, this forecasting, for Simon, when you see this, it's this is forecasting 30 knots, not quite 35, so there's no weather alert on this. We'll see how that evolves in a minute, but it's a northwesterly. He'll make good ground on that. He's done 6.3 knots, 122 miles in the last 24 hours. Kirsten's 6.7 knots and 123 nautical miles in the last 24 hours, so pegging each other. There are no gains, no losses there for second place. And Ablish is doing 5.5 knots, so and 138 miles, so he's gained a bit on Kirsten. And Captain Goog, 6 knots, 92 miles for the day, not too bad. Let's just have a quick look at the currents just to see if anyone's interacting here. Kirsten's not, it's okay, no big surprises. Goog's got a little bit of a current coming across the back. That's maybe 1 knot or something, about a knot. So that looks all right. And wave-wise, some pretty big seas. That's around 5s for Kirsten. That's a 4 building a little bit higher for Ablish. And Goog's in pretty good stuff. Simon's in the usual sort of, 4s and maybe 4s reaching up to 5s and so on. And I forgot about Jeremy back here. We didn't get everyone in. So, okay, coming back across here. So Jeremy's got a pretty good sea running, 6.3 knots. Better to find out about his currents. He's missing them at the moment, but he's going to come across this one soon. and we'll go back to the wind. So yeah, he's got the tail end of what was happening before, so we can't get them all in the one. So I'm going to stick with these 4, and then we'll look at Simon in a sec. Oh, we got the wrong weather there. I didn't bring it back. So here we go. Okay, so this is today's weather. Jeremy's okay, plenty of breeze there, southwesterly. Goog's going to go into a northerly now. That'll come over, and that's a northwesterly, so that'll push him down a bit probably. Aberlich's got a reasonable breeze, so has Kirsten, so they're all pretty happy right now. But that means the waves will be different as well, because I had it in the wrong spot. So 3 to 4, 2, he'd be enjoying that for Goog, and that's 3 to 4. Kirsten's got 4 to 5s maybe. So we'll come back to the wind and roll that through now. I'll animate that, and we'll see how it progresses. You can see exactly what happens as these systems go over. Goog's going to be in the northwesterly, and then when it dies off, it swings around to the southwest. Jeremy's happy for a few days. This is midnight tonight. We're going into tomorrow morning. Aberlich is going to get that northwesterly, and you can see then Goog's gone into a southwester. Constant southwest flow for a couple of days. Oh, it's going to pick up for Kirsten. Still not a weather alert. Borderline. We might look at that on windy in a minute and decide whether we want to tell Kirsten, because as it's rolling over, it's intensifying a bit. And this is on the 10th, so it's 8th, 9th, 10th. 2 days ahead, she'll be up here somewhere by then. And I'll calculate that. But generally, it's all pretty good, and they've all got breeze by the look. I'm going to just pan back now so you can see the big picture. This is beautiful. This is what it's meant to be. This is roaring 40s. There's 40th parallel there. So that's not too bad. And yeah, rolling it through a bit more. Oh, I've got to hit that again to activate it. Okay. Yeah, it's just nice systems. This is typical Southern Ocean. Pushing this through. This is the 11th now. No big storms, just the usual fronts one after the other. Northwesterly, overcast, cloud, rain, swings to the southwest. The clouds disappear, the blue sky comes out. Fluffy white tops on the waves. So that's all very good. I like seeing this. Let's see where the storms are. Oops, daisy. Yeah, well, even down south there's not a lot happening, so that's cool. Anyway, back to Simon. Just do some distances now. I'll come one up and we'll see how the ETA is looking. So there's Hobart. Okay, boom. Let's bring that up here. So Simon now is 1500. So that's a week and a half. So that's about 10 days. 10, 11 days if he's lucky. Maybe, no, but he won't make 150 mile a day. 10, 11, 12, 13 days. So yeah, still the 20th, I reckon. But anyway, that's about it. And let's just see what Kirsten, she didn't do any big gains yesterday. So still 750. That's holding true. Simon's weather, we'll just get rid of that now. And look at his wind there. I'll make it up a bit bigger so you can see what's happening. And pull him down here. Activate the wind and scroll it through. I'll keep moving it, but he's got pretty good Southern Ocean conditions there. He'd be loving that. All very normal, nothing extreme. Southwesterly there. This is midnight tonight, tomorrow morning. All in the greens. Oh, beautiful breeze. So he'll be putting the foot down for that for sure. He'll go for it. That's sort of 20 knots. A little bit more there, 25 knots. Sea state will be about 2 to 3 meters. Blue sky, having a ball, and then up comes this thing here. We don't want to see too much purple. This is the 11th. It's dying off as it gets across, so he'll be over here by then. So yeah, there's no weather alert there either for Simon. So he's got another good run for that's right up until the 12th. So for the next 4 or 5 days, he'll be happy.